What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Rough Pup from Peterborough, England. How's it going, guys?
Hey, yeah, not too
All good,
bad.
thank you.
You?
Good, Dave. Thanks for having us, man.
Of course, really appreciate you guys coming on. Let's dive right into it. So, when and how did Rough Pup form?
I'll leave.
Well, yeah, I don't know who wants to lead this one. I mean, I can say a few words. Well, Dan and Simon have been in bands previously. They'll probably speak more about that. But then me and Simon both work on the railway over here in the UK, and we work as signallers in signal boxes next door to each other. I think we were just saying a minute ago, like the odds of finding another guy that's into the same music, like in this kind of field, is quite unique. But I was actually playing guitar and singing in covers bands. I was doing that for a little while, and then I think someone, or I may have mentioned to Simon that I play drums, and he was like, "Dude, should we get you out of retirement?" And I was like, "I haven't played drums in nearly a decade, but I still have a kit like tucked away at home, so maybe we should do something." And that was, I think, July last year, and then obviously with Dan and Simon being good friends, Simon was like, "We need to get Dan involved," and it kind of just went from there. So yeah.
It's quite organic, really, wasn't it?
Mm. Yeah, super organic. I think we're not old by any means, but I mean I'm the youngest. I'm 35. These guys are in their well, they're in their 40s now. I don't know if they want me to announce that,
Yeah,
but
that's fine. I'm
I think
40.
we've all been around the block a few times in terms of playing in different bands, and I think we all wanted to do something that was like super fun, super relaxed, no egos, and just play the music that we kind of grew up listening to and that we really enjoy. And that's basically the the mantra of the band, really.
I tell people all the time, you're never too old.
No, 100%.
No, definitely
We're just getting started. Let's put it that way.
not.
Hell yeah, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
So, you guys literally just dropped your debut EP, Something to Say. How's the response been to it?
Really positive, hasn't it? It's quite nice because we've sort of come from nowhere, and the first thing they've heard is the EP, and then a couple of days later we've done our first show. It's been really well received. It's been quite positive, and things are looking good. Gigs are coming in, and shows and stuff, and can't beat it. It's going well.
I think like with the EP as well, like again, like I said, because we've done a few bands in the past, I think all of us were kind of like, we just want to release something that we're really proud of. And if other people like that, fantastic. If they don't, fantastic. That's fine. But
Yeah,
as long as we're happy with it, I think that's really the thing we was going for. And like Dan said, it's, other people have really been enjoying it as well, which is always a nice bonus.
oh,
But
definitely.
ultimately, the three of us just wanted to go. So we actually went away for like a week to record this with a guy that we know up in Leeds. Shout out to Andy Hawkins, producer at the Nave, and we just wanted to really just focus on putting something out that we're really proud of, and I think we've achieved that. So yeah, I'm happy.
I tell people all the time, it's like, yes, you want to make it for the fans, you want them to be happy, but more importantly, you're doing it for yourselves. And if you're not doing it for yourselves, and it's like, what's the point? You might as well just go in a different direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Otherwise, you're just churning out music for the sake of it, aren't you? You're not fully invested in it. So this is what we want to be doing right now. I mean, that might change. We might change stylistically as we
Get
progress
older.
through. Yeah, and get older. Influences from places and whatnot. But this is where we are at currently. We're really proud with what we've written so far. Um, the stuff that we're working on now, we feel is as good, if not better. So there's always constant progression there. So we're pushing ourselves and sort of finding our feet as well, because what with it being a new band, um, we were kind of feeling our way and sussing out what exactly we wanted to do. And yeah, we're sort of, you know, taking the steps in the right direction that for what we want to be doing. So, like I said, we're all super happy with how it's turned out. Um, the reaction's been really positive. It's been really well received. Yeah, we're chuffed.
That's awesome. I tell people that sometimes in order for you to learn, what works, what doesn't work is by just jumping, doing a dive, going head first and going from there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think we've done that. Like I sort of alluded to earlier. I mean, for me, coming back into this, like Simon and Dan created like such a safe space for me to be able to like rediscover myself on the drums again. That was like a huge thing for me because I was like, taking 10 years away from the instrument, I was like, can I even do this anymore? But the guys have just given me a platform to do it, which I'm super grateful of. And I think like with our music, we just wanted to like be like super authentic, really. We just wanted to do what felt right to us. And I think people pick up on that. We're writing stuff that interests us, and I think people just appreciate the authenticity behind it. But yeah, so we're doing what we enjoy, and it keeps us out of trouble somewhat. It keeps our wives are happy because we're out making noise elsewhere. So. Yeah,
More real, the better. That's what I tell people.
100%.
So, how did the process go? The recording process?
Who's
We
taking it?
we demoed a lot of stuff just ourselves using basic recording equipment. We picked a producer and a studio that we wanted to record at based on music that we enjoyed that had already been recorded there. So there are a couple of bands that spring to mind. Sunliner, who are a punk band from Leeds, I believe. There's a band called Holding Patterns, who are from Derby. A Human Project. I'm not. Are they from London? Dan?
I think they
No, they're from Leeds
dotted around,
still.
aren't they? Yeah.
Oh, they're from Leeds as well. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, bands that are recorded within that area that we just and they're all stylistically different, but there was just like a common theme in terms of the production and the sound that we all really enjoyed. So we were like, well, we could go to the studios around here, and no disrespect to them, they're all great. But we wanted to sound a little bit different, if that makes sense. So yeah, we settled upon that. We sent the demos to Andy for his thoughts. He didn't really make a huge amount of sort of changes, just offered a few opinions on a few little bits and pieces, more when we were in the studio rather than sort of beforehand. But we wanted him to hear the music so he knew what he was getting into. And yeah, we had 5 days up in Leeds, and it was brilliant. Just we were all made to feel really at home, really comfortable. All three of us hadn't really sung in bands before, so we were all a bit sort of tetchy about that. But he got some great performances, we feel, out of it in terms of our instruments and vocals. Yeah, it was an awesome experience, and we've booked up to go again next year. So I think that speaks volumes as well.
The secret fourth member of Rat Pup, the Hawk Lord,
Yeah,
Andy
exactly.
Hawkins.
Yeah. I think like a key part of the recording process as well is like Simon said, we had our demos and we kind of had this idea that I might go in and kind of track drums to the demos, and then the guys would then obviously do guitar and bass separately and that kind of thing. But when we was in there, Andy said, I want to capture the energy of you guys playing live. So we basically like tracked the songs live and then kind of went back and did like guitars after that and bass after that sort of thing. So I think we didn't have that in mind initially, but it really captured the energy that we was hoping for. But again, that was kind of Andy's idea, and it just made us feel super comfortable. We're a live band, right? Like our music's meant to be played live, and I think capturing that energy in the studio was like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And that was thanks to Andy for sure.
You didn't send it to Andy, and Andy wasn't like, "Oh, this sucks." Just like bend it.
He may have thought that, but he didn't say it. Yeah, he didn't outright say that, but he may have thought that. I don't know. You'd have to ask. Maybe you'd have to do an interview with Andy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
He
I'll
needs
have
some
to send him
podcast.
a message and be like, "Hey, was it good or was it just like complete, trash?"
yeah. No, the great thing with Andy is he's very he's straight to the point. He's very experienced, and like Simon and Dan have said, he made us feel comfortable, but he knows how to get the best out of people. Like that, he's done this so many times for bands that we love and listen to all the time, and yeah, I can't imagine us working with anyone different now. It's just like Dan said, he's like the fourth member of Rough Pup. So.
That's amazing.
I think
That's really
it's
sick to
important
hear.
for us to sort of build that connection with someone as well, someone that kind of understood what we were trying to achieve and that we could get on with sort of outside of the band as well. Like, 'cause we all had such a laugh with Andy. He's such a character. He's literally hilarious. But at the same time, super focused, and we got everything done we needed to get done. But we had a really good time and a really good laugh
And it was good
whilst we were
bonding
there.
for us as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because we could have gone to say a local studio and done like Dan and I have recorded with our old band, and it was done over weekends, wasn't it? And we'd do a
Yeah.
weekend, a whole week off, do another weekend, and then it maybe 6 weeks later we're going for another weekend, and it's so spread out. You lose a lot of the energy, and it just all becomes a bit sort of robotic, and you lose that human element. And I mean, as a essentially a punk band, you know, you want that raw energy and that live feeling of a live band playing. And yeah, all right, the production is, you know, pretty damn good. It's not like a live band, you know, it's recorded properly and everything, but at the same time, it's not like super quantized to the grid and like loads of triggers and stuff like that. It's all, as far as we're aware, natural instruments. There's no triggers. It's literally just, you know, the pure instruments just
Yeah.
recorded well in a really good room by someone who knows what they're doing.
And like Dan was saying as well, like a huge part of it was just like the bonding experience, like
Yeah.
all like us three being together for 4 or 5 days, really like immersing ourselves in the music. But then also like after the studio, we'd go to a pub and we'd meet the locals, and they would notice our accents were different, and they'd say, "Oh, what are you guys doing in Leeds?" And and it was just such a really cool experience, meeting all these really lovely people. If
They
you
were
ever get a
amazing.
chance to come to the UK, Dave, and go to Yorkshire, the people there are just so lovely.
Yeah, they are. They're
Um,
fantastic.
they were buying us drinks left, right, and centre, and it's like, I've got to track drums tomorrow, dude. But they're just lovely people, and that was a huge part of it. Like, it was just a great experience for us to just hang out. So,
That's amazing. And I feel like that should be, Andy's job is to make you guys feel relaxed and, comfortable, because if you're relaxed, if you're comfortable, then his job will be easier. You guys will be able to put out better music because you're relaxed and you're comfortable.
Exactly that.
yeah,
And like
sorry, son.
the three of us hadn't recorded vocals properly, so we're all super nervous about that. I'd imagine, I mean, speaking for myself, I wasn't too nervous about tracking guitars. I don't think Dan was about bass, and I don't think Louis was hugely worried about recording drums. But I think at the back of our minds, we were like, we've all got to sing at some point. It sounds all right, but above all, like, people are listening really to that more than anything, aren't they? When you listen to a song, it's the vocal that you're listening to. The more you listen to it, then you start deep diving. Or I do as a musician anyway. You start listening to all the sort of the core elements, then you start picking out all the little details. But ultimately, it's that vocal that's up front and center, and we wanted to make sure that sounded as good as possible. So,
yeah,
I think when it comes to the vocals as well, like it was obviously, the three of us were working so well as a kind of a trio. I think we was all a bit reluctant to bring someone else in because we were so comfortable with how. Yeah,
all three of us, we had a conversation. It's like, well, who's going to sing?
Yeah.
We started piecing some music together, but there was no vocals, there were no lyrics. It was just like, right, here's some ideas. We need someone to sing on this.
But the vibe was good, and
yeah,
wasn't it? And sometimes bringing in that fourth person, it can either help improve it or just lose, as you know, like previous history of bands we've had. That vibe can totally die and it just kills the band off over a period of time. Whereas this just feels good, and it's like, well, we don't want nothing to spoil how this feels. And like I say, it's quite organic, it's quite cohesive. We all get on really well. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I can't remember who it was that suggested it, but someone just said, well, why don't we all just sing? And we all just kind of looked at it. Let's give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? If it sounds terrible, then we'll have to get something. But if it works, you know. And then it was like, well, how are we going to do it? Well, have a go at writing some lyrics to this song, and it just kind of snowballed from there, really, didn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trial and error, figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. And
absolutely.
it's like there might be a part that is easier for someone to sing whilst playing their instrument. So, okay, well, you take the verse, and then I'm playing something that's quite easy to sing over in the chorus, and maybe I do the chorus, and then someone else is doing something different for the bridge, and we can alternate between us, and whoever's not doing lead vocals, the other two are doing backing vocals and things like that. So it's constantly sort of chopping and changing, which is a little bit different as well to probably a lot of the bands um, that are out. Not that we're trying to be on purpose. It's
No.
just kind of how it happened. But I mean, like 4 Years Strong, for example, they've got two vocalists. There's plenty of other bands that have a couple of vocalists, but I can't think of many bands that have three lead vocalists really, and it's
In
kind
a
of
three
alternating.
piece, yeah.
Yeah, so just something a
You guys
little bit
can
different.
start a new trend.
No, what the true story is, Dave, we just don't have enough friends. That's
I
basically
mean, you
it.
got one right here, so
Yeah, there we go. You could be our new singer, Dave, right?
I don't know about that.
No,
I don't know if
you're
I
a
want,
drummer.
millions of people to, hear my voice, but it's funny that you mentioned that before because before I started playing drums, I listened to pretty much the vocalist and then that was it. A little bit of drummer, a little
Mm.
bit of, the guitarist, but it was mostly the vocalist. But now that I'm playing drums, I'm really concentrating on listening to the drummers and then I'll listen to more guitarists and obviously the vocalists.
Mm.
Yeah,
And it
hundred
makes me
percent.
really appreciate, the drummers even more and the guitarists even more. And obviously the
Yeah,
vocalists.
yeah. No, 100%.
This is where Dave tells us that he hates the drums on the EP.
The drums are awful. The drums suck. No,
So if you-
they're awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I appreciate it.
you're putting me to shame.
No, I appreciate it, man. Like, yeah, like I say, I can only thank Simon and Dan for kind of trusting in me. I was kind of like out of the game for a decent chunk of time, and they took a hit, like a chance on me basically, and I just hope I can do them proud and like I say, and just keep enjoying the journey with these two guys because they're great musicians, and I'm just happy to be part of it, right?
well, if this is how you are so far in after 10 years, it means it can only get better, mate.
Well, yeah,
I look forward to it in future.
I
You've got to step
appreciate
up
it,
your
mate.
game now.
That's it. Yeah,
It gets better as you get older.
Yeah, I'm like a fine wine. I'm like a fine wine.
Aging like fine wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. So who would you say your biggest influences are?
What, individually or just as the band?
Individually, as a band.
I mean, shall I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Gives me a chance to think.
Yeah. So I've been playing guitar since I was 8, and I'm 42 now, so it's quite a long time. But early stuff, it was Dire Straits, Bon Jovi, Alice Cooper, were kind of Gary Moore, probably like the four sort of main sort of artists I was sort of into initially, and then it's kind of progressed into like hair rock, like Guns N' Roses, that kind of stuff, and into Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, all the thrash metal bands. And it wasn't until I was, let's say, about 15 or 16, people kept talking about punk bands, and I was like, no, punk bands are rubbish. You want to be playing metal, blah, blah. And someone showed me, is it Want You Bad by The Offspring?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's not too bad. I can get on board with that. And then it was No Effects, No Use for a Name, Strung Out. And I was like, I'm sold. This is great. You can keep your metal. This is where I am. And then Propaganda was a massive turning point for me because it kind of bridged the gap. I got into them when How to Clean Everything was out, just before Today's Empires, Tomorrow's Ashes came out. And that was just like, wow. Like there's intricate guitar parts, the drumming's mad, the bass is all over the place in a good way. Vocally, it's great. And it was just like, its own thing. There wasn't another band doing that kind of thing. And then again, like through the years, they've just kept churning out great albums. So yeah, I mean, Chris Hanna's a huge influence on me. I don't necessarily play like him, but yeah, I think sort of trying to draw on the melodic element whilst having riffs, but like the sort of faster pace, mid pace stuff as well. It's just yeah, quality. No Use for a Name as well. Big influence on my writing, I would say. R.I.P. Tony Sly.
Absolutely.
Go on,
Dan,
Dan.
how's
I'll go next then.
that?
So I was just thinking, so I go for guitar, but I play bass in this band, so we'll go with bass players. It keeps it easy. So I'll keep it purely simple.
Shiflet's got to be in, surely.
Oh yeah, Scott Shiflett without a doubt. From Face to Face, Matt Riddle, Nose for a Name, Dan Angiano from Alkaline Trio is a massive influence for me. God,
I think vocally as well.
yeah, probably, yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to be interviewing you, but
God, there's so Grant Ralph from Body Jar. Oh, like, I don't know. It's just so many good. Oh, and Carl Alverts from Descendants. How could I forget him? He's just fantastic. I just like bass players that hold the bottom end down, but then have these really melodic kind of fills or flourishes. Some just they don't overplay, but just works, and that's just I don't know. That's that kind of what sets my heart on fire. It makes you laugh. Growing up, it was always the attitude of, "Oh, playing bass, you're a failed guitarist." And when you really listen to stuff, especially punk music, the bass players are absolutely phenomenal. Like, and compared to sort of middle of the road rock, it's the musicianship is just outstanding. Yeah, that's it.
Have I got to talk about drums now?
Yeah, you got to talk about drums, mate.
I mean, so like for me, like my musical journey, like I always remember my parents listening to music as a kid. They're not anywhere near into like punk rock or any kind of heavy music at all, really. I grew up on like soul and Motown and things like that. But then again, when you think about like the drummers from that kind of genre, like how tight they were and how many records they played on and stuff, you're like, these cats can really play, And I remember like dancing to that kind of stuff as a kid. And then I was like born in the 90s. I'm the youngest in the band. Like, and then I think a lot of people in my kind of era, like when I first heard like Smells Like Teen Spirit, like that intro, like drum, Dave just wailing away on the drums. I was like, what is this? This is different and like in a good way. And I've really like, this is a bit of me, right? So then, I just started going down that route, like Nirvana and then Green Day and like Trey Cole was like a big influence. And then naturally, you got the guys like Travis Barker. He's influenced a lot of players and stuff. And then, like Dan said, I was big into Alkaline Trio for a while, and I love their drumming is great. But like I love Matt's vocal melodies and stuff. I think they're just so cool. I just really think he's a really interesting guy. And Dan Adrian is a fantastic bass player. But then again, like with my generation, it was like the emo thing was a big part of it as well. So a lot of emo bands like Fall Out Boy and things like that. Like Andy Hurley, again, is a huge influence from Fall Out Boy because he played in like hardcore bands and stuff like that. And I was just like, how does like this dude like bring that element into kind of like a pop punk pop rock sort of band? And Andy Hurley, I remember like watching just videos of him on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, this guy, I really like what he's doing. So that was my journey really, like from soul and Motown to kind of just going into like grunge and pop punk and emo and I'm just kind of an amalgamation of all of that really. And then like the guys are introducing me to like some of the stuff they grew up on. Like I'm an open book. I will listen to anything once. I'll never write anything off. So the guys are always showing me new bands. I'm like, this is awesome. It's like Pandora's
Well,
box of they
PCE.
they give me homework. They're like, go and listen to this band and learn all these drum grooves. Yeah,
Poor you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You guys just covered like every genre. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're
I
a
think
melting
that's,
pot of everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Like I took a lot of influence from what my parents were listening to initially, and I can imagine we're all pretty much the same, aren't we? And then as
Yeah.
you get older, you sort of find your own way and what you like. Well, whether it's what your friends like at school, but then eventually you sort of steer down your own path, finding other bands that you like, and then
Mm.
you make friends with other people that are into that kind of music as well, don't you? So it's always been a good like community music wise.
I think we were.
Definitely.
I don't know if it was the same for you, Lou, but I can remember when like pop punk and punk rock exploded, sort of late '90s into the early noughties, and it was just I was so what was I 16, 17 when that really picked up. So getting in bands and that was just a great time. I sat, and that's what over 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
But it seems to be coming
Yeah.
back around again.
The
I
thing
would
is as well.
absolutely love to get in a time machine and go back and like relive all that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
That'd be so
yeah.
cool. The thing is as well, like obviously we're kind of based in and around Peterborough in the UK, which is kind of like was it East Midlands, I guess, kind of. But I mean, I grew up like in my early years in London, so I had so much music around me. Like you could go to any corner of any bar and there's like bands playing, punk bands, brass bands, ska bands, like
mm.
everything was there. So I was just like a kid in a toy shop. I was just like, let me listen to all of this, let me watch and learn. And it was, yeah, that was a big part of my kind of development. Just growing up in London, it was just, yeah, it's nuts.
That was the same here. Like I say, because I'm from right on the south coast in Hastings, and we used to get a lot of the bands down like 10 Foot Pole, Guttermouth, and we managed to support both of them back then. And the scene there was just fantastic. Like had Distillers playing down there, Useless ID, um, and then a couple of like the British bands that were up and coming. So that would have been Sponge, Lightyear, who were an amazing ska band.
Mm.
I, I remember seeing them and they were just fantastic, just loud, relentless, brilliant.
Getting so excited just thinking about all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice trip down memory lane. Like
Nice.
I've been around sort of Peterborough for most of my life, I would say. But the music scene, sort of Wisbech, Kings Lynn, Norwich, Peterborough, they've all been really good. Like, but unfortunately, some of the venues are closed down. But there's a great venue in Peterborough called the Park, and we had the pleasure of playing with or opening for Chris Wallard and the Ship's Thieves. And we'd run out of CDs, and afterwards he's like, "Guys, you got a CD?" We're like, "No," and he's like, "You gotta get some CDs, man." We're like, "We haven't got But like, we had opportunities like that to play with like massive names really within the punk rock scene. We've had like Wilhelm Scream and even like into heavy metal, like 18 Visions and stuff like that playing in Peterborough, and it's just we're really lucky to have some of the venues we've got and promoters that are putting these bands on. But yeah,
Oh,
to have a
Geordie.
chance to play with someone like Chris is just mad. Yeah, Geordie's put on so many good, like even like for me and Dan in our previous band, we played with um,
Belvedere.
Belvedere. We
Wolfric.
got to open up for them and Wolfric. They were the main support. They were on tour together. Just like the amount of times I've listened to This Is a Standoff and Belvedere over the years, it's bonkers. And then all of a
Yes.
sudden, you're opening up for them. It's bonkers. But yeah, it's so cool. So cool.
Looks like I need to get to Peterborough tomorrow.
Do
Yeah, get on the
You've
bike
it.
always,
right now.
yeah, you've always got a place to stay. You can come and stay with us, Dave, anytime, man.
Oh, hell yeah, I really appreciate it. So now I'm going to ask you guys some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you as people. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
All right, first one. If you could be any Pokemon, which one and why?
Oh wow, that's yeah. Go on,
I'm trying
Dan.
to remember when my kids were into it a few years ago.
The only one that comes to mind is Squirtle.
Well, we could be like the three core Pokemon, right? So like Charizard, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. Like
Yes.
we could cover all the
Yeah.
bases like with us three,
I was
right?
going to say Charizard.
Yeah. I guess I'll be Bulbasaur then. Just chilling there, just
There you
like with
go.
this. Yeah.
I didn't want to go
Big
for the obvious
Pokemon guy,
Pikachu.
so like these answers are like important to me.
Yeah.
We'll go with those three, I think.
My memory's so fuzzy because I remember having a Pokemon game on the Game Boy when it was the old black and white Game Boy, and it was all the rage. But I can't remember half the character, the like Pokemon names. A lot's happened since.
We're letting you down, Dave.
Sorry, Dad.
Nah. You guys are good. I mean, I've told people this. I think if I could beat any Pokemon, I'd probably go with Gengar or like Alakazam, just because like they always seem like, really like sick Pokemon, and Gengar is just like and Alakazam too. They're both just like trolls. They like to mess with people, but just like all out of like love, all out of just like respect. They're just all about just having a good time and staying young and staying fun. And I can relate to that. So I feel like I have to go with, one of those.
Nice.
Solid answer.
Absolutely. Better offerings than us.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I've judged you guys hardcore. We are no longer homies.
Oh,
It's over. I'm not coming to Peterborough. I'm not going to come to a show or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not going to buy a shirt or a CD or anything.
Nice.
I'm just kidding. Just pulling your legs. So, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, God, that's a
Clearly not watching Pokemon, right?
steady.
Yeah.
You can get us cancelled,
I
Louis.
been about 5, watching. Dan, you might need to correct me. Is it Alchemy, the Live Dire Straits video?
This is alchemy, isn't it?
This is Alchemy, yeah. So it was.
Yeah.
I can remember watching that. My dad had a guitar, and I think I had a tennis racket, and we were miming along to the videos. So that's probably my earliest sort of musical memory, like one of like a favourite childhood memory, I would say. That was a good one.
The one that always sticks in my mind, I was learning to play guitar. My granddad used to teach me, but he played bass. And so I kind of flipped between the two. And then he sat me down and put this record on. And it just blew my mind. And it was Paranoid by Black Sabbath. And just the bottom end was thumping. It's like, right, yeah, need to find a band to go and play this in. And that was about 8 years old. It just blew my mind, that album. Just phenomenal.
It just changed your life for forever.
It did. It was just one of those turning points. It was up to that point. It was like Beach Boys, Beatles, Genesis. Not so much the prog era, but more the Phil Collins era. But yeah, when he put that on,
Just game over.
It's Tony Iommi's riff, that down, do 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 do, and it just kicks in, and it's like, holy shit, this is unreal. Shake down buildings. It just blew my mind.
You're like, I just want to run through like a brick wall.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel whenever I listen to Ozzy, whenever I listen to Tony Iommi and the rest of the dudes in Sabbath. It just makes me want to just go and like bench like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Or like just to, like run through like a brick wall, or just like go shred and just have a good time.
It's just pumping. I think that's what the word I was probably looking for. It pumps you up. Exactly that. It's just, I want to go and take on the world. Look out.
Here comes Dan.
Dan Smash.
I'm trying to think about, like, I don't know if it's my earliest memory. I think my earliest musical memory, and I do remember this, and my parents often talk about it, is I used to dance and sing to. I don't know if you guys have heard of a band called Simply Red. There's a singer called Mick Hucknall. It's like it's not punk rock or anything. Like it's as far away. But I remember singing and dancing to that dude. But like a big memory for me was like when my parents, they're super supportive, and like, you know, my mum was at our first show. Like shout out to mum. But getting my first drum kit, it was a really cool kit actually. It was a D drum Diablo. It was a black kit and it had all red
Red
hardware. Like,
hardware.
and I was just like, I am just badass. Like playing this kit, I just look cool. But we lived in like a semi-detached house. So we had like a neighbor next door, and like my parents would let me wail away on that thing. And like that neighbor must have hated us, man. Like hearing the intro to Teen Spirit, just like on repeat, like every weekend, like when I'm not at school and stuff. But yeah, I just like my parents have just supported me with my music and stuff throughout the years, and like they're just a huge part of why I'm even here with you guys chatting, right? It's, you know, so yeah, just solid people, and can't thank them enough for giving me that, you know, that spark really that's defined the rest of my life essentially.
Just on the back of that, Louis, with Mick Hucknall, when are you going to
Yeah.
get a diamond put into your tooth?
I think I could pull that look off.
I think you could.
He's a
Nah, you gotta
redhead
get
like me as well.
grills for like all your teeth.
Yeah,
So you'd
let's
be
do
like
it.
the rapper Mike Jones. Who
Oh,
Mike
100%.
Jones? Who Mike Jones?
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Please, please do.
Grills. Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
I'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
them with you, so you and I can rock them together.
Let's do it. Let's push for a sponsorship. If there's anyone out there watching this that can hook us up, let us know, right?
Yes,
That's a
absolutely love
GoFundMe
it.
right
So if you guys had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Wow. Just one charity, right?
You could split it up and you could donate to multiple charities.
Hate to say it, for me, it'd be dog charities.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a dog
All
trust?
dog charities.
There's one up your way, isn't there? I used to
Are
drive
three counties?
towards,
Or was it?
might be on the way to Burton on Trent, but not that far, like Melton Mowbray, out that way. I think there's a dogs trust one there.
Oh, yeah, Dogs Trust, yeah.
I'd go with that one.
I think, yeah, obviously, you know, tying into the rough pup theme, I think we're, you know, the logo that we use is like our
There
three
are
dogs,
dogs.
essentially. Yeah. So they're, you know, but if it was like non-animal related, I'm like big into like kind of just allowing people to like find music. So like people that can't afford instruments and places like that, like, you know, being able to like invest in like community spaces where people can go and like try instruments out. That would be a huge thing for me. And I know there's a few in and around Peterborough that do that kind of thing. Because I don't know if you know, Dave, but we're part of a community called Socks On Records. It's like a community of like-minded bands that support each other's music, and we play shows together and whatnot. And there's a guy, Aidan, shout out to Aidan, good job, kid. He's put us, like the group, in touch with this charity in Peterborough that does like music classes for people with disabilities and that kind of thing. And I think that'd be really cool to kind of support something like that. I think that would be really cool.
That's amazing. Before all this, we were talking about what I do for a full-time job. I work with kids with special needs, so that like really hits home for me. Like that's something that
Mm,
I could really relate to. So that's really really sick.
yeah, yeah. I think it's so important just to like give people that outlet, because it's like music is like it's such a gift. And if anyone can like get hands on an instrument and stuff, like if it can change people's lives like it has with us, you know,
Yeah.
guys, then I'm all for that, right?
Music for me was almost pretty much my saviour. It was just, even as a kid, if you got bullied, go home, just bury yourself in your guitar, playing away for hours. Anything bad happened, that was always the one friend that you could go to and just forget about all the other stuff. And it was just that. And it's even now, it still is my still my escape.
That's absolutely amazing, and I could totally 1000% relate to you. All right, last question. What are some places in Peterborough that visitors should check out?
Oh,
Should we all just shout a couple of places off?
yeah, you go first, Lou.
So the Ostrich, which is where we played our debut show, it's a fantastic like little pub that do amazing beers and stuff, and the atmosphere there is just so cool. Everyone there is just like,
So supportive.
just so supportive, so easygoing. It's like a tiny venue. You can get like 30 people in there, and it looks like a sold out show. it's it's insane,
great.
but the atmosphere is just incredible. So like the Ostrich is fantastic. I'll let the guys maybe say any other places that we should look at.
Just venues or just anything in Peterborough?
Anything, man.
Anything. Tacos and flip flops. We'll give them a shout out.
Oh yeah, tacos and
Yeah.
flip flops. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just excellent food.
Yeah, they're like a vegan taco place, Dave. So yeah, I mean we've been there a couple of times, and they actually sometimes do like pop-up events at the shows that take place at the Ostrich. They'll come and like feed everyone, which is really cool. But yeah, they're really cool people. Tacos and flip flops. Check them out.
They can feed me a million tacos.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
dump them all in my mouth and I'll get really fat and be a million pounds.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's any shows that have been put on by No Gods, No Managers. They just get the greatest bands in, and even bands that you haven't heard of, but you know when you go down, the band's just going to be great. And the guy who runs it, Geordie, he's just an absolutely lovely guy. Makes sure the bands all get, playing original stuff. It's very rare that you get paid these days, and Geordie always makes sure that you get paid something, which is fantastic. He really does try and look after everyone. No, great notion. Yep.
That's Geordie's band, yeah.
Yeah.
So then when I get over there as soon as possible, we can get a pint, we can get some tacos, and just have and get my English on.
100%.
Well, if you go to the Ostrich,
what was that?
So if you go to the Ostrich on the night, No Gods, No Managers, you're guaranteed really good punk music, great beer, and tacos and flip are generally there anyway.
Yeah.
So you can get it all in one place.
Sounds like a perfect evening to me.
It certainly is.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and the support means the world to me.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Dave. Appreciate it, man.
It's been a blast. Thank you very much.
Of course, anytime. So for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find you guys at?
So we're on social media. Obviously, we're getting older now, so it's a struggle for us to remember all this stuff. But basically, if you search Rough Pup, you're on Instagram, Facebook, that kind of thing, you'll find us. And all of our EP is on Bandcamp. So it's bandcamp.com/Rough Pup. And then we're on all the streaming services as well. So yeah,
so
just
Spotify's.
Spotify's, Apple Music, YouTube. If you just search Rough Pup, something to say, will pop up.
And if you also want any merch, we're doing a pre-order, which is available on Bandcamp as well. Cheeky plug.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Very, very clever.
Smooth, Dan, smooth.
I would have done the same thing, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Gotta support the brand.
100%.
Absolutely.
But in all seriousness, do what they say. Go to the websites, buy a CD, buy a vinyl, buy a shirt, support local music. You guys are absolutely killing it. Keep up the sick work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. And Dave, I just want to end as well just by saying, like, the stuff that you put online in terms of like how you can support bands and stuff. Like, me and the guys really get behind what you're saying. Your message is really important, and like we really support what you're doing. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Well, that means the world to me. I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without your support, without like everybody's support. So thank you so much. And I'm so glad that I haven't made you guys go absolutely nuts with all my posts.
No, not at all.
Not at all. They're in a band with me, so.
It's the pop punk, it's the New Jersey in me, it's the ADHD in me. I can't help it. I am who I am.
Well,
Just
hello,
be you, mate. Never change.
8832.
Never change.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks,
All
Dave.
the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.